all the blood in Chinese films is white, or they, CGI over the red blood from American films and make it white. So I don't know how that's better because it looks like semen, but that's what they want, I guess.
That's insanity.
Welcome to Nice Ashes. Join hosts Mike and Nate for cigars and culture. Let's go beyond the smoke.
What are we smoking today, Nate?
We are smoking Spaceballs, the cigar. I mean, the Montecristo Platinum Series Toro.
Yes, we
are. It's a pretty good looking
stick. I'm looking forward to it. It is. It is.
Have you had this one before, Mike?
I have not. I haven't had many MonteCristos.
I was going to say, I don't think we've smoked a lot of MonteCristos on the show.
I haven't smoked many in general.
Any particular reason, or?
They're just never the best looking thing in the store.
Sure. Trying to look here, I don't know if we've smoked any outside of this one. We had to have. I feel like we had to have. There's a nice little bit of subtle spice on the cap of this one.
Yeah, it's a nice stick.
Boy, I don't think we have.
Well, first time.
I think this might be the very first. There's 6 of them. 4. Yeah, no, this is our first one. First one on the show, anyway.
Nice. Have you lit your cigar, Nate?
I'm lighting it right now. How about you?
Yeah, I'm on the first couple puffs.
So far, so good.
I have a lot of draw, but I'm not getting a lot of smoke.
Oh, I'm getting a ton of smoke.
Huh. I'm going to deduce my problem here and see what I got.
Yes, I am going back to my old habits and my old ways, Mike, and I'm pairing this with a Simpler Times from Trader Joe's.
Very nice. I'm pairing mine with ice water.
Did you get your smoke problems figured out, Mike?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay, good deal.
I lit it, and then I thought it was lit, and apparently it wasn't lit well enough. So
sure,
that's interesting.
What are we talking about this episode, Mike? Something super heavy and dark?
No, for the first time, possibly this whole series, we're not. We're going to talk about Spaceballs. Maybe some Mel Brooks after that.
When
what?
Are we talking about Spaceballs?
Right now. What do you mean?
Now? When will now be then? When will then be now? So they do the retro cinema, which we've mentioned before on the show, and we've done, Fifth Element, I think, was part of the retro cinema review. Except Mike went and saw that in theaters, and I watched it at home. And I went and saw Spaceballs in theaters, and I believe Mike watched it at home.
I did. I watched a DVD of it at home.
There you go. So it had been several years for me since I had seen Spaceballs, so it was quite something to see in the theaters.
How'd you like the experience? Was it worth your time?
Yeah, I think so. I think that maybe I don't want to offend people or make people upset, but I felt that, Spaceballs is a classic, and I enjoy Spaceballs. Its average rating on IMDb is 7.1 out of 10, and I think that is a perfectly fair rating for it. I guess I remembered liking it more when I was younger.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
What's that?
I said, I'm glad to hear you say that.
And so I really want to rewatch Blazing Saddles now, but I know that I had recently watched Dracula Dead and Loving It, which is Mel Brooks's Dracula parody, and I thought it was fine. I wish they would have swapped the roles of Van Helsing and Dracula. I wish Leslie Nielsen would have played would have played Van Helsing instead of Dracula. He did a great job as Dracula, but I feel like his kind of delivery style would have played off better as Van Helsing. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Spaceballs. And this came out in 1987. So this was before either Mike or I could see this in the theater, because I was 1, and I think Mike was yet to be born. But directed by Mel Brooks, written by Mel Brooks, Thomas Meehan, and Ronnie Graham, and starring, of course, Mel Brooks, John Candy, Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, Daphne Zuniga, Dick Van Patten, and I think also famously Joan Rivers as the voice of Dot Matrix. It is mostly a parody of Star Wars. However, it's a parody of several other films as well, as John Hurt makes an appearance, similar to his appearance in Alien. Should we run down the plot, Mike?
We can run down the plot if you want. It doesn't really matter.
Well, it's mostly Star Wars, kind of, sort of, except instead of having Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, they ditched Luke Skywalker and made the Han Solo character kind of be the one main character along with his sidekick Barf, John Candy. And they are the rascal types, right? The kind of living in the gray area, maybe downright criminals, but not as bad as Pizza the Hut. So there's a lot of things that mirror the Star Wars world because it was mostly a parody of that.
And the references are all pop culture. I had a hard time with some of them that my wife got when we watched it.
Sure.
So I missed the double.
Yeah, there's a lot of cultural references specifically to the 80s.
Yeah.
And basically there is a princess, oh God, what was her name now? Princess Vespa, who is from planet Druidia, and she has to marry Prince Valium, and she doesn't want to, so she runs away. Her father, the king, hires Lone Star and Barf to go rescue her from Lord Helmet. President Scroob is trying to steal all of Druidia's air, even though they apparently have plenty of air on the spaceships and everything, but not on their home planet. So they need to go steal all the air from planet Druidia. So that's kind of the two plots going on. And then, of course, Lone Star meets up with Yogurt to learn how to use the Schwartz. And that's kind of the third subplot. So
yeah, and for those who haven't seen it, gosh, I think everybody that's listening has probably seen it, right?
Oh, probably. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's worth seeing. It's only an hour and a half long, but it at times feels longer because I don't think the pacing is very good.
The pacing's off. It's kind of slapsticky like all the Mel Brooks, and there's a lot of funny jokes, but then there's a lot that are only relevant if you were old enough to remember the 80s.
Yeah, there is that. I also think this is maybe one of his most quotable movies.
We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for a lot of money.
Yep. And, you know, like the whole, when they go and they play back the Spaceballs tape, because they're like, oh, yeah, advances in home theater. We have the tape of Spaceballs before we even finish shooting it. He's like, how can we have that? We're shooting it now. And then they're fast forwarding and rewinding. He's like, when is then? Then is now. Okay, fast forward. When is then? Then is in the future. When will then be now? Soon. And there's a line in there, too, where John Candy says to Bill, you know, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. And you're always right. And that one gets quoted a lot. And then, of course, all of the people on the command bridge of Dark Helmet's ship have the last name Asshole. So, you know, the line, I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. So there's definitely some really good lines in there. You know, I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. And then my personal favorite is when Dark Helmet introduces himself to Lone Star or whatever. He's like, I'm your cousin's sister's roommate's third nephew or whatever. And Lone Star's like, well, what does that make us? And Dark Helmet goes, absolutely nothing. So there's definitely some pretty funny moments in there. I think, I don't know, I guess for me, the biggest miss was kind of Dot Matrix.
Why do you say that?
I don't know, just kind of the overly prudish virgin detector and some of the stuff that she did and said. This didn't really land with me, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I didn't recognize Joan Rivers' voice. So
Sure. Well, we got a nice little intro in the theater by one of the people that does movies for the theater, right? That introduces them sometimes. And for their retro or throwback cinema, you know, and they were talking about how Mel Brooks, even though he didn't have to, went to George Lucas directly and asked if it was okay to do a parody of Star Wars. George Lucas said yes, with the only condition being no merchandise. They couldn't do any merchandise. So that's why when you see like Spaceballs, the bar mat, Spaceballs, the beach towel, like all of the things in there, like none of those things ever got sold or ever got produced outside of movie props. But that's why everything is like Spaceballs the this or Spaceballs the that, because that was one of the conditions. So he made fun of it, even though he agreed to do that, you know, like it was a respectful thing and whatnot.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and they also said, you know, like in the voice of Dot Matrix is Joan Rivers, and she's not doing the acting, but she's doing the voice.
I thought the running joke about the princess being Druic or whatever the hell it was.
She's a Druish princess.
The Druish princess. I thought it went over the top when they started talking about her nose job.
Yeah, well, Mel Brooks is Jewish, so, I mean, he can do it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought the nose job was maybe a bit too far, too, but I laugh because I don't think I picked up on the Jewish connection when I saw it last, which was maybe in college or something. I don't know.
I obviously picked up on it right away, but first time I watched Spaceballs, I was an adult. So
sure,
it's not one of the Mel Brooks films that have fond childhood memories for me, which I think keeps them alive I'm sure you enjoyed the movie more than I did.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit long. I loved the opening where the ship was forever long. And the music kept like swelling and then kind of like disappearing and then swelling again and then disappearing and the ship's still going by and still going by and still going by. So, but yeah, I think, and it's the 80s, but I think it's comparing Spaceballs to something like Fletch. I don't know if you've ever seen Fletch with Chevy Chase.
I have.
Okay. I feel like the joke to minute ratio in Fletch is a lot higher than in Spaceballs. Or at the very least, the jokes in Fletch land a lot better. Like the jokes in Fletch are all like 8, 9s, and 10s if they were being judged at the Olympics. And the Spaceballs jokes range from 5 to 10, right?
Sure. I would say some of them go lower into the 3 territory, depending on your background, I guess. Like I say, a lot of the jokes are very specific to the time period.
Sure, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I really enjoyed the intro credits where he ran the line, "If you can read this, you don't need glasses."
Yep. Yep, that was good. Nice. And, some of the jokes are kind of the real funny, like the "I gotcha" kind of jokes, like, what does that make us? Are we related somehow? And it's like, no, absolutely not. And then there's also the joke of like launching a jar of jam at a radar dish and then they've been jammed. So, the jokes kind of range from almost like child humor all the way up to adult humor with some of the dot matrix and innuendos and other things. And they do say fuck at least once, maybe twice in the film. And it's an 87 PG. So they can say several fucks and still be PG.
Right. Yeah. They were a little tougher then. So
yes,
it was intended for children.
They were okay making fun of Jewish princess noses.
Just 8-year-old. I guess. When is a PG? When can you go to a PG alone? 9? 8?
9 is anytime your parents say it's okay. PG. And they didn't have the PG. They didn't have the PG-13 rating back then. It was, I think, G, PG, and R.
Oh, okay. Got it. I would say this would be a PG-13 now.
Yeah, if they said fuck more than once, it would be an R, just based on that alone with today's guidelines. You get one fuck in a PG-13, and it has to be used in a non-sexual way. So you can't say, like, let's go fuck. You can say it in exasperation and stuff like that. But you can't say motherfucker because that is R rating immediately.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but that doesn't matter. It's kind of like you can have blood as long as it's not human blood.
Yep. Or as long as it's not realistic looking. That's what they do in China. All the blood in Chinese films is white, or they, CGI over the red blood from American films and make it white. So I don't know how that's better because it looks like semen, but that's what they want, I guess.
That's insanity.
Never said it was sane, man. Never said it was sane.
Yep.
Yeah. So Lone Star and Barf fly around in an old Winnebago, which I think is hilarious.
With bumper stickers. All the spacecraft have bumper stickers.
Yep. And they've got like the shag carpet and empty beer cans all over their Winnebago. And they, and it's funny because, and it's a comedy. It's a Mel Brooks comedy. So you're not necessarily, you know what you're getting with a Mel Brooks comedy. But there's a scene where the princess is in her, I don't know if it's a Buick or it's some kind of fancy car make, right? Mercedes, yeah. And they're in the magnetic beam or the tractor beam. And Lone Star and Barf hover over them in their Winnebago and they just open the floor panel and the moon roof and in the vacuum of space, right, just move from one vehicle to the other vehicle. But then one of the whole plot points is the Spaceballs, President Scrooge, Scroog, is it Scroog? Scroob, sorry, President Scroob, and Dark Helmet need air from planet Druidia, but I guess you can breathe in space, so.
Yeah, the plot's not really the point.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, like, if you like to be critical of movies, this is one you don't go see without the understanding that it's just a slapstick, supposed to be fun entertainment time for an hour and a half.
Right, it's just a series of jokes which range from jam jars on trays to penis fighting.
The penis fighting. Yeah, then during the fight, he's like, look over there. Lone Star looks, he's like, oh, I can't believe it. You fell for the oldest trick in the book, man. So it definitely does have some really good quotes.
Better fight scene than modern Star Wars.
Well, that's true. And also, this is another interesting tidbit. is not only did George Lucas give his blessing to Mel Brooks to make this film, but he let them use ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, for their special effects. So all the special effects look like Star Wars effects because it's done by the same team.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
The one they didn't pull off, and I don't know if this was on purpose or not, was the land speeder, because you could see the full mirror because it wasn't adjusted properly. But that's how they did it in Star Wars, is they put a mirror over the wheels to make it look like it was hovering for the camera.
Nice.
And you couldn't see it because they did some post work in Star Wars on it, of course, but you could see the mirror very clearly. I don't know if you saw it at home, Mike, but in the theater, you could see the mirror clear as day hanging off the edge of the thing. And I don't know if that was on purpose to kind of let everybody know how George Lucas did it in Star Wars, because this was 87. This was before we had IMDb.com and all the trivia and stuff, right? So we didn't have director's commentaries on movies back then. So I don't know if he was doing that to kind of let everybody in on the movie magic secret that George did, or if it was truly like a blooper, you know?
Oh, I doubt it was a blooper. Mel Brooks broke the fourth wall often.
Yeah.
Even in this movie, because they went into the camera crew, didn't they?
Yeah. He killed one of the sound guys.
Yeah, exactly. So he does that. And I did not notice at home. So that's pretty cool, though. Yeah,
I can't say it's a bad film. I'd probably give it a 7. I might give it a 6. I don't know. It's in that range. It's solid film. Good spoof.
I'd give it a 5.5 or a 6, maybe. Oh yeah, a 6. Yeah. Soft 6. I think that if I saw it as a child, I would like it a lot.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. These days, I think there are funnier spoofs, that, and again, like, of the same era, I keep thinking about Fletch because it's funny, and the jokes, they know how to do the jokes to make them funny or make them more impactful to the plot and the story and stuff like that. So I think that's really the only thing that could have been better, and they could have tightened up the runtime a bit. I don't know about the runtime, but, just the pacing was a little goofy. So I'm curious to see what they do for Spaceballs 2. But
my wife's very excited.
They did get Rick Moranis out of retirement for it. So
oh yeah, no, she's very excited. I'm looking forward to it. It might actually be a good movie.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll do a Spaceballs 2 review on the show as well. But what are some of your favorite Mel Brooks films, unless you have anything else to say about Spaceballs, Mike?
I do not. So I do have to say that we watched Blazing Saddles over the weekend
Sure.
We're recording this after 4th of July weekend. So My family and I watched Blazing Saddles during the thunderstorm on 4th of July that many experienced in the region.
Yes. How does that hold up?
I thought it was great. I did. I think parts of it don't hold up very well, similar to Spaceballs, but the parts that really hit a lot harder. And I really enjoyed how the governor and all of his cronies are portrayed, because it seems pretty close to reality.
Sure.
Goofy, but I think that's how it is, I think.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed it. And it's more shocking than it was when it came out, for sure.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, there's nothing really shocking in Spaceballs. Blazing Saddles definitely has some shocking things.
Oh yeah, for it's not a movie for children. It's a movie for teenagers and above, for sure.
Yes,
but I like Blazing Saddles a lot.
That was 74, and it was rated R. So.
Oh yeah, that's definitely rated R. I mean, they're doing all sorts of things that are not appropriate.
Oh yeah. Yep, you got Madeline Kahn, Slim Pickens, Gene Wilder in that one. That one's really good. I'd have to watch, I guess I'd have to watch these back to back. I'd have to watch Blazing Saddles and then Young Frankenstein, because Young Frankenstein is amazing.
Young Frankenstein is incredible. I love that movie as well.
That one's also from 74. That's rated PG. That again has Gene Wilder, Madeline Kahn, and it has Peter Boyle and Terry Garr. So you've got a real good cast there too. And
that's a traditional story. Everybody knows both of those stories.
Oh yeah.
Right. New sheriff comes to tame a wild town. And then, Frankenstein.
Yep. Yeah, I think I only saw History of the World Part 1 once. I don't remember if I liked it a whole lot. His line, it's good to be the king, is great, but
it's been a while since I've seen it. Been a long while, so I'd have to watch it again to know if I really would like it now. Yep. It was fine at the time.
Yeah, and he just put out History of the World Part 2 recently. I guess it's a TV miniseries instead of a show. But 2023, that came out. And it's got a 5.5 out of 10 rating, whereas History of the World Part 1, I think, has a 6.8. So Doesn't give me super high hopes for Spaceballs 2, but again, you never know.
It depends on how far he goes, man. If he hits hard, then it'll be good. But if they pull back a little, it's not going to be something that I'm going to
enjoy. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing, is because Mel Brooks is pretty old now, as is, Ridley Scott and James Cameron and all of these directors that we grew up when they were top of their game, right? And now they're not anymore, and it's becoming clearer and clearer that they're not at the top of their game anymore with their decisions or their stories or whatever they end up doing. And it's a little kind of frustrating because nobody will tell them no, because they're huge names in the industry.
They're too big to fail.
Yeah, but they've been failing.
Horribly so.
But they're too big for the studios to curtail or rein in a bit, because I think that somebody like Ridley Scott and somebody like James Cameron and somebody like Mel Brooks, even if you had somebody that just told them, like, look, your 4-hour movie is 2 hours too long. It's boring, man, boring. Like, let's tighten this up a bit. We don't need a 4-hour long boring movie.
I don't think the studios have anybody in charge that can tell that on any movie, let alone.
Well, they do on the producers definitely can. I guess they may or may not work for the studios, but the producers will override the directors and the editors sometimes. That's why you get director's cuts of movies. Well, not anymore, but you used to get director's cuts of movies because the studio or the producer fought the director and forced them to release the cut or the version they thought the audiences liked best. And then they spent legal hell trying to get their work print back or whatever, or their rights back, so they could release their own cut of what their vision was when they made the film. So it definitely does happen. But now most of the director's cuts or extended or unrated cuts are just kind of like, here's just more jokes that makes the movie worse, because it throws the pacing way off. But enjoy.
I guess that's what I was getting at is, does Hollywood have producers that are capable? Not that they have the power. I know they have the power. But
sure,
are they competent?
Well, look at any modern Hollywood film that's come out and flopped. I mean, no, obviously they're not competent.
The biggest successes in the last couple of years have all been non-Hollywood, borderline indie films.
Yeah. Yeah. And 4th of July weekend. So this is right after the 4th of July weekend. But this is the last Wednesday in July that this is coming out. So it's almost August. But 4th of July weekend, from everything I've heard, that Supergirl, which was supposed to be the big kind of summer 4th of July weekend blockbuster, got outperformed by Young Washington, which was made by a small, like, Christian studio.
It's not the first time that's happened. Not by a long shot.
No, it's not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last time. I actually went and saw Young Washington with my dad, and all the trailers were Angel Studios or whatever, and I'm like, the fuck is this Angel stuff? Like, I didn't know anything going into it other than I watched the Critical Drinker's review on Young Washington, and he said it's more along the lines of like Braveheart and less like Lincoln, but that he enjoyed it. And so I was like, well, it's probably worth a shot going, and my dad really wanted to see it, but I had no idea what this Angel Studio was. And then there's all these like super religious movie trailers and stuff, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be a super religious like George Washington movie. And it wasn't, but I thought it was a pretty decent movie, pretty good movie. But something like that where you can tell they didn't have a huge budget, everything looked good. I mean, all the costumes and stuff. Some of the scenes I thought were a little too dark, but that's just me. But it was a plenty good movie, but I don't know that it should be the #1 movie in the box office. So that just tells you the kind of the slop that's coming out of Hollywood's trough right now.
It's terrible. And
I saw they're trying to remake. They're going to remake Cliffhanger now with a strong female protagonist lead or whatever. And I'm like, oh, why?
That movie's going to flop. You're making a dude's movie for women.
Yeah.
That is a failing formula, and it has been for a long time.
Well, that's exactly what Supergirl is.
Yeah.
As a male movie for women.
Women want Jane Austen movies.
Yeah.
Like time period pieces. It doesn't even need to be realistic. It can be whatever slop they want to put into it.
Yep.
But if you're making movies for men, like, they're not going to take that. That's not how it works. They're different audiences.
Yeah, and the audiences that Hollywood's trying to cater to doesn't even go to the theater. That's why they have to play Spaceballs in the theater, to get the generation that does go to the movies, because our generation doesn't really want to see Snow White in the theaters, doesn't really want to see Supergirl in the theaters, even if you're a comic book person, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. You don't want to see the race and gender swapped Odyssey.
And, people do accept it. My brother, we were talking about it over 4th of July, and he's fine with it. It doesn't bother him at all, but he's also never going to a movie theater. Yeah. He will not ever go to a movie theater. So,
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. The people that they're making these movies for, that would enjoy these movies or not care, don't go to the theater to see movies. So why are you making movies for those people? Make movies for the people that still go to the theater. Make a movie like Spaceballs. Make a movie like Alien. Make a movie like Fifth Element. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying remake these movies and making them lame and dumb, but make like a 90s action flick and put it in the theaters without worrying about DEI stuff. Make a movie like you used to make them in the 90s. People will come to the theaters, easy peasy lemon squeezy, which is not how we used to say that phrase in the 90s, I'll tell you, but it is now, I guess.
It is now. They could easily remake Escape from New York or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Escape from New York. There was a second one, wasn't there?
Yeah, Escape from L.A.
Escape from L.A. You could do both of those. You could even just make one set in the same world and make it like Escape from Chicago or Escape from the Somali Child Care Center in Minneapolis,
Oh, boy. The problem is they would have to put a woman of color in as the main actor. They can't help themselves. They can't just put in whatever dude is the strongest, biggest dude on the screen.
Well, let's talk about that, Mike, because I've got a new movie that's going to, well, it's not going to make you eat your words, but, so I saw They Will Kill You. I don't know if you've heard of it or seen any trailers for it.
Have not.
Okay. It is a black female lead with a black female younger sister who goes to rescue her younger sister from a satanic cult in New York City. And let me tell you, it was one of the best movies I've seen of modern times. And it was great. It was fantastic. It was Tarantino-esque with the gore. It had humor. It had some plot twists. It had good effects. It had a good story. The characters had actual fucking character arcs, which is wild for films made after 2020. Like, the characters actually, went through hardships and learned and grew as people. Crazy how that makes a film so good.
All right, so what is the name of this movie again? Because I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look to see who produced it, where it was made.
They Will Kill You. But here's the other caveat, is not only was it well written, but it wasn't a remake of any other film, as far as I know. They weren't saying, hey, that film was really great back in the 70s or 80s or 90s. Let's just remake it and put a black woman as the lead character. Nope, this was a movie specifically written and designed for a black woman to be the lead. And guess what? It worked.
I'm sure it did. So it was released by Warner Brothers in the United States, but it was not a Warner Brothers movie. It was an international co-production.
Sure.
Which explains why it's so good.
Yep. Do you want to do a cigar check, Mike?
Absolutely. Oh, New Line Cinema picked up the rights? Okay. So they picked it up. It was in production. I want to watch this movie. It looks good.
Really good. I highly recommend it.
So this cigar is very spicy. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it is.
Unreal. I almost want to go grab a glass of whiskey. It's that spicy. Just to give a palate cleanser. My glass of water is gone and I'm halfway through. So we'll probably have to go get more. But this is a very good cigar if you want a lot of spice.
Yes. Yeah, and it's pretty full-bodied, I think. It's on the darker end for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's good. It's dark. Very spicy. Definitely need a good palate cleanser with it. My goodness.
Yep. Puts off a real nice amount of smoke, at least for me.
Heck yeah. It's been very smoky now that I have it properly lit. I don't know what happened at the beginning. I thought I had it lit, but
well. I don't know. I had a brief thing recently, or, about a quarter of the way in, where the edge on the wrapper got unlit in one section, so I just had to relight it real quick, and it wasn't a big deal, but I don't know.
Yeah, lighting resistant, maybe. Or a user error. Could be.
Yeah.
Either one.
Could be. Yeah, we sometimes do the user error here pretty good at Nice Ashes, so.
Yes, we do.
So I was just looking, and Mel Brooks turned 100 years old on June 28th. He was born in 1926.
That's incredible. I wonder if he's really as big of a pervert as he likes to portray in his films.
I don't know. Is Bill Zebub really as big a pervert as he portrays in his films?
Gotta be.
Gotta be.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess I've never really seen anything on Mel Brooks films, if he encourages improvisation or not, because you've got some funny people. I mean, you've got Rick Moranis, you've got John Candy, you've got some other funny people in his other films, right? So I wonder
Gene
how
Wilder.
much. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Yeah. I wonder how much is written down on the page and how much these actors bring to it.
I think his process. I heard about it just a little bit in preparation for Spaceballs, and I listened to a little blurb about him working with Gene Wilder. And he was asked why Gene Wilder's scripts never did as well as Mel Brooks' scripts. And he said that Gene always tries to put emotion into the script, and you don't do that. The script should be dry, and the actor should bring the emotion to the scene. So from that, I would assume that he wants the actors to be involved in the process.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything bad about Mel Brooks, by the way, just so everybody knows. I'm not trying to insinuate anything bad about Mel Brooks. I've never heard anything negative about him.
Yeah. He's one of the few that you don't really hear a whole lot about, but I think he's famous enough, but I don't know that he reached the same echelon as, Ridley Scott or James Cameron or Steven Spielberg, let's say. Probably solely due to the type of movies he makes. He's like the Weird Al of film.
I'd say that's accurate. I mean, he made some legendary movies, and he just kind of stopped for some reason. I don't know what the backstory is, but Blazing Saddles is must watch if you're an adult, I think.
Yeah.
Just kind of encapsulates the way our culture was and how it's degraded since then, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the closest, more modern equivalent to Blazing Saddles is probably got to be Tropic Thunder or Team America World Police. In terms
Possibly.
of kind of like the irreverence that you could show back in the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Yeah, modern South Park. But even modern South Park's tame by comparison to what it used to be and the way it is, now. We've definitely become a more sensitive, more controlled, more censored society.
Yeah. It's not necessarily an entirely bad thing across the board, but I think with art and expression and free expression, I feel like art is meant to kind of push the bounds and make people uncomfortable sometimes.
I think when it comes to comedy, if it's not pushing the limits, it's not probably going to be for adults.
Yeah, I'd agree.
They can't even put out a good rom-com anymore. What the hell's with that? Why haven't they had a decent rom-com in the last couple of years?
I don't know. They haven't had one really since probably, 50 Shades. That's the only thing I can think of that got all the female viewers out of the house and into the theaters.
Barbie,
yeah.
Barbie's not a rom-com. Either is 50 Shades of Grey, like romantic comedies. I haven't seen a romantic comedy, a new one, in a long time. They're not even making them.
Well, I'm sure someone's making them. They're not advertising them.
Right. They're like direct-to-TV. Maybe Netflix has taken over the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
There's always a bunch on Netflix or a Tubi or whatever, but I don't know who's actually making them.
Are they just so cheap that Hollywood doesn't want to do it? Are they only going to make these massive blockbuster films that flop?
Maybe. I don't know. If it opens up our theaters here for some more foreign and some more independent movies, I say let Hollywood fail and let's get some actual people that love the craft and love a story, because that's what it is. Movies are stories.
Where you live, that'll be true, but where I live, I think that theaters will close.
Yeah.
They won't. They won't get in good films.
Well, and it's tough too, because the theater, if you don't know what you're doing, your sound mix is so bad that you can only hear about half the film. It's so loud. It's as loud as like a rock concert. Your seats are gross and disgusting, and everybody there kind of treats you like shit. And in the case of AMCs, they smell of urine, because AMC has gone way downhill in recent years. And so I won't even go to an AMC anymore.
Good tip. I would not have thought of that. Every theater I go to is independent.
Yep.
Only because of where I live.
Yep. There's a chain. They only have 2 locations near me, and that's the one I prefer to go to. Either location, because they're good and they've got nice seats and everybody's friendly and they've got good food and snacks and other stuff. Though I don't usually eat food when I go to the theater, but candy and soda, yes, but I'm not getting like a pizza to eat.
Dude, I don't buy anything at a theater. My wife does. I refuse. I can go 2 hours without a snack or a drink.
Yeah, I can go, but I like the drink. It's a little treat because I rarely go to the theater anymore. So it's like, yep, I'll get some candy. I'll get a soda, and that's it.
I don't want to sound like too much of a hardliner. My wife always gets a diet pop, so I'll drink it. So
yeah,
I'm not going without. I just won't pay for it.
Sure.
I'll pay for the ticket.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we'll see.
I can't really think of any movies I'm excited to see. I mean, definitely not The Odyssey.
Dude, I am not watching that movie. That movie's going to be trash.
We'll watch it for the show.
I won't. Why would we want to watch that?
Dude, we did Snow White, man. We did Snow White.
We did do Snow White, and it wasn't as bad as everybody made it out.
It really wasn't, but...
It wasn't great either.
No.
Similar to... I don't know if you're excited. You're not a Harry Potter guy, but any listeners who are Harry Potter people. I am a Harry Potter guy. Oh, are you? I thought you were not.
No, I read all the books. I liked the books. I watched all the movies. I liked the ending of the movies better than the ending of the books.
No, well, there we go. I learned something today, everybody. Are you excited for the HBO miniseries that's going to come out about Harry Potter?
Is that the Black Snape one?
Yes, indeed.
No, I don't know. I mean, I haven't read the, she put out another book and then another, I think they even made it into a movie.
Oh, yeah, the Fantastic Beasts. That was
I saw the Fantastic Beasts. I saw one of them and I wasn't super thrilled with it. Didn't read it, but then there was also something about the boy or something. I don't know.
There was the Cursed Child play.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see or read that.
Me either. And she's done a lot of work outside of Harry Potter under other names.
Yeah.
None of which is very good. At least not to my knowledge.
Well, sure.
I tried to read one. Couldn't do it. But I'm not excited for the HBO series. I think it's going to be garbage. Disappointing, unfortunately.
Could be. Tough to say. I don't know. I mean, I liked the books and I liked the movies. And I feel like that's enough, Harry Potter. I feel like the story was wrapped up, you know. Just like I feel for Toy Story 3 in my mind is a very logical and cathartic ending to the story of the toys. And then they made 4, and now they have 5 out in theaters. And will I see 5 at some point? Yes, I'm sure that I will, but not really like super excited about it because it just feels like they're just dragging it on and on and on when they already had a good ending.
It's perfect millennial slop. That's why it's going to drag on for the rest of our lives. It's just like Star Wars is for the Gen Xers. It never ends. Never ends. And if it was good, I would watch it, believe it or not. But it's not. If it
was good, I would watch it too.
I wish it was good, but it is not. Oh, that's one. So I'm looking at the Mel Brooks movies. He's got 11 on IMDb. I have not seen The Producers, but I want to watch it. I have not seen The 12 Chairs. Have you seen The Producers?
I don't believe so, no.
The idea for it sounds incredible, and I would love to watch that movie. Maybe we'll watch it for the show.
Yeah, why not? I feel like I think he wrote that for Broadway and then made it into a movie.
I know it's about a play called Springtime for Hitler, and that has to be a selling point, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Number 2 was The 12 Chairs. Never heard of it, but I would watch it.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Then
we also did, I think, High Anxiety. But again, I haven't seen a lot of these.
Right. Well, I've seen Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein. I have not seen Silent Movie.
Me either.
I've not seen High Anxiety.
Me either.
I have seen History of the World Part 1. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
I saw Spaceballs. I enjoyed it fine.
Yep.
I've not.
You've seen Robin Hood Men in Tights. I like that one.
Of course. I like that one a lot. I think that's a great movie.
Yeah.
No, that is a great movie. And I have not seen Dracula Dead and Loving It.
It's fine.
Yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights is fantastic.
Yep.
Oh, looks like I got some Mel Brooks movies to watch.
Yeah. Well, whichever ones you're going to watch, let me know, and we'll watch them, and we can talk about them on the show. Maybe we'll just do a Mel Brooks Part 2 or something.
Yeah, we could watch them all, or at least I would like to watch The Producers.
Yeah, sounds good to me. We'll put it on our schedule. We can intersperse some of our super dreary and depressing and terrible episode topics of what's going on in modern politics and global whatever, and intersperse some Mel Brooks films and some other films. I know we got some book stuff coming up.
We do. We have book stuff coming up. We're going to do more reviews on books as time goes on, of course.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get a couple more movie reviews in to break it up.
Yep.
But I would not... I will admit that some of the topics that we have can be depressing. However, my goal isn't to be depressing. It's to inform about what's going on in the world. And it's things that are not going to be covered by your local news station, whatever that may be, nor the mainstream media, whatever that may be. the things that are relevant to understanding what the hell is going on, because it's completely out of control.
It really is. It's weird. I mean, it's not weird if you pay attention and start seeing the rhymes, but
it's weird if you're not paying attention to what's going on. And most people who think they are paying attention aren't at all. And I'm aware of my limitations. I cannot possibly know what the hell is going on. But
yes,
I can know at least some of the background information to help me understand why things are the way they are.
Yes.
There's always causal links.
That is very true. Very true.
So are you a big fan of spoof films in general, Nate?
It really kind of depends on the spoof, Mike.
I don't mind low-budget spoofs.
Yeah.
But when we start getting into the scary movies and the Hollywood-produced stuff, I'm not as big of a fan.
Oh, yeah. The first and second scary movies, I think, were the best. I tried to watch through all of them that were out at the time. And by the third one, I was kind of like, I can't do them anymore. Like, I think maybe the second one might even be the best one, but 1 and 2 were pretty good. And then I couldn't do the rest of the scary movies. I was just like, I'm not interested at all. Now, I liked the Austin Powers trilogy. I even liked I think it was from the 60s, Casino Royale with Peter Sellers. Not the Casino Royale with Daniel Craig, but he plays there's 5 or 6 different versions of James Bond in that film. And Peter Sellers, of course, plays a lot of the characters. And that one's good. And I like Tropic Thunder, which is kind of a spoof on war movies and whatnot. And
I've never seen Tropic Thunder. I need to see it. I need to see Tropic Thunder.
We need to do that for the show, too, because it's amazing.
Everybody says it's excellent, and I've never watched it. I didn't really enjoy Casino Royale, but...
The Daniel Craig or the Peter Sellers?
The Peter Sellers version. I was like, meh.
It was worth a watch, but I don't know if It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World is a spoof movie or not, but it's too long. And Rat Race is basically the same plot, but shorter and funnier, in my opinion. So just watch Rat Race.
I don't think I've ever seen either one. I have seen all the Austin Powers movies. And of course I love them, but I'm the right age. I saw them in theater.
Yep, you're the right age. You grew up watching the classic James Bond films that it's making fun of.
Yep, I was the right age for it.
Yep. Trying to think what other spoof movies are out there outside of, Mel Brooks for some of his. Let's see here.
There's a ton of low-budget ones you can see on the free video services.
Sure. Like Airplane. I love Airplane. Naked Gun is great. Top Secret I even liked. That one's really good with Val Kilmer. It's a spy spoof movie.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
There's is one with Emilio Estevez. Yeah, Spinal Tap. Oh, that's a great movie.
I haven't seen the second one, but they put it out, so...
I have not seen that either. I didn't even know they put it out.
Maybe we'll have to do Spinal Tap 1 and 2.
I wonder if it shows Rob Reiner kissing his son on the mouth.
I don't know.
For those of you who don't know, Rob Reiner was killed by his son, whom he routinely kissed on the mouth in public. There's pictures of it.
Yep. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is really good for a spoof movie. It's a slasher spoof. Last Action Hero with Arnold is really good. It's kind of a spoof. It's more action-y than like a comedy, though, but there's definitely some action spoof stuff going on in there.
I like both of those movies.
Yeah. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, is a spoof on the music biopics, which is hilarious. It's fantastic.
I like that movie, too.
Yeah. I guess maybe, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like spoof movies then. Not all of them, but...
I'm a little harder on them than you because I don't really care for the Naked Gun movies.
The first one is the best. The first one is so good. It made me laugh so hard. And I hadn't seen those for a long time, and I just watched them this year for the first time ever. And the first one was hilarious. The second one was pretty good, and then the third one kind of wasn't. And I saw the new one with Liam Neeson. And
I did not watch that.
It was fine, but I'd rather just watch the first one again. Student Bodies is really good from 1981. It's a horror spoof, and the killer is called the Heavy Breather, and so a lot of the camera work is point of view of him, and it's just heavy breathing and him like walking around breathing heavily.
I want to watch that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. It's good. Even like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End are spoofs.
I didn't enjoy Shaun of the Dead as much as I needed to.
Sure.
I should rewatch it.
Yep.
Maybe I'll like it better.
I want to rewatch those. I got those. I had a gift card for Best Buy, so I got a Blu-ray trilogy set of that and Naked Gun, of all three of those. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. They're all really good.
Hell yeah.
There's another one. I think it was Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask or something, and it was like they filmed it as a documentary watching a serial killer. Yeah, Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask, and it's like a mockumentary or whatever of this film crew's following this slasher guy around, killing people, and they have like that, like the National Geographic quandary of like this animal is dying. Like, at what point do we step in to save it? Or are we going to become accessories now because we're filming these crimes? Or it's hilarious. And there's a scene in there that I always laugh at where they're asking him, how do you serial killers always like people are running from you and you're just walking slow. And then they turn around and you're like right behind them walking slow. And then they filmed it from a distance. Like every time the victim isn't looking, they sprint like super hard. And then as soon as they start to turn around, they like quick slow down and keep walking real slow. It was funny as fuck.
Nice.
So yeah, if they're done well, I like them. I feel like the
Kingpin's a spoof.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies for sure. I love that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if it seems to be kind of like a quick cash grab by a big studio, it's not really, they're not as good. But
never are.
You know, and like they got all those like Not Another Teen movies or whatever. I don't know that I've ever seen those. Johnny English is a good spy spoof with Rowan Atkinson.
I like that one.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hit or miss for sure. Like, I liked the Get Smart. It was based off the TV series, but the one with the movie with the guy from The Office, Steve Carell. I think that was a pretty good movie, but I didn't see the movie called Spy. I think that was with, what's her name? Melissa McCarthy.
She's had her time in the sun.
Yeah, that one's actually rated like a 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
She had a lot of talent. That's just her movie choices some of them were pretty terrible.
Yeah. She's still better than, what's her name now? Amy something. Amy Schumer.
Oh, Amy Schumer's a Nepo baby.
I mean, anyone's better than Amy Schumer.
I mean, her uncle is a senator. Would you consider Caddyshack to be a spoof movie? Kind of, right?
I mean, no, probably not. I mean, I think you have to define what spoof means, because you've got National Lampoon's Vacation, and of course National Lampoon put out a bunch of movies, many of which were spoofs, but I wouldn't really consider National Lampoon's Vacation a spoof movie. It's I don't know what they call them. They're not really like the frat boy comedies, but they kind of are. You know, they're the, Caddyshack. Even, Spies Like Us, I guess, is a spy spoof movie, and that's hilarious.
It is. And I understand what you're saying, because Stripes isn't really a spoof movie. It is, but it's not. It's a movie that has comedic elements.
Yeah, it's a comedy war movie, not necessarily spoofing war movies.
Right.
Because I feel like a spoof has to borrow a lot of the same plot points or a lot of the same things or setups from the movie it's making fun of. And you can see that maybe most clearly with Austin Powers. I mean, for the current generation anyway, right? James Bond is always a womanizing person and gets in crazy action situations and comes out just fine. And a lot of the Bond villains like to monologue their plans and put them in really complicated but easily escapable situations and then not watch. And you've literally got a bunch of those things going on in Austin Powers. The main bad guy, Ernst Blofeld of the Spectre organization, has a white cat that he pets ominously, and you never see his face. And Dr. Evil is a very clear caricature of Ernst Blofeld from James Bond, and his cat goes to space and all the hair falls out through the cryogenic freezing. And so it's a spoof. It's funny. It takes elements that are known to James Bond fans and embraces them and turns them on their head and makes them into incredibly comedic things. And that would be, a spoof. But to say any of the vacation movies are spoofs of road trip movies is pretty general. I mean, you could potentially make that argument, but they're their own stories contained and their own jokes contained. And you don't have to have seen a bunch of, you don't have to see another film to enjoy it. Whereas Austin Powers, you probably enjoy it more if you've seen at least one of the older James Bond films.
That's true. It's a good point.
I mean, you might like it anyway, but you might not get why when Scott is like, no, I got a gun in my room. Why don't we just shoot him and then we can go do our thing? And then, Dr. Evil's like, no. I'm going to put him over here and I don't like to watch when things happen. And it's funny, but you don't really get the full impact if you haven't seen any of the James Bond films where that sort of thing happens all the time.
That's kind of the movie.
Yeah.
Pure insanity.
Pretty much. Yeah, I guess I don't know what you would qualify like Caddyshack as. That's just your stereotypical, like, and it's the same with, what was that? Was that film where the older guys kind of made their own frat at the campus, like Will Ferrell or somebody?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the movie, but I know what you're talking about.
But it's like that.
Yeah. It's not a spoof, but it has similar elements.
So they say Caddyshack is a classic sports comedy. I guess like Happy Gilmore. I mean, Happy Gilmore is more maybe of a spoof of sports movies than Caddyshack is. But they call Caddyshack as slapstick and absurdist comedy. So that's kind of what I was thinking of when you think about like the National Lampoon vacation movies. And you think about even Caddyshack or Big Daddy or a lot of the early Adam Sandler films. They're kind of that slapstick or absurdist comedy where you would never get away doing any of those things in actual life, but it's funny because you're not in actual life. You're in this absurd movie, right?
Yeah. Groundskeepers don't use explosives.
Yeah. Like Animal House, even, right?
I don't think I've ever seen the Animal House in its entirety.
Okay. That's great as well. And if you like Stripes and Caddyshack, you're going to like Animal House.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to like it then because I like Stripes a lot and I like Caddyshack a lot.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch Stripes again, actually. So
my dad loved that movie.
Yeah. A lot of good movies out there. Not a lot from recent times, but
old movies. A lot of good old movies.
Yeah.
Though I will admit I am not actively seeking media, so I wouldn't know.
No, I mean, I guess I've kind of gotten to that point where even walking in the theater when I went to see Spaceballs and when I went to go see Young Washington, like none of the movie posters even really excited me. I was like, oh, all right. I heard briefly about that one, but none of them are super interesting. There's not really a movie that I'm looking forward to. Even hearing about Dune Part 3, I'm like, I'm not even interested in Dune Part 3 because of what they did in Dune Part 2.
I'm interested only because I want to see what kind of disaster it is. It can't. I'm predicting it's not going to recover, I guess. I think it's going to be just a sinking ship.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I could be wrong too. I'll see it, but it's not one I'm excited about seeing. It's
yeah, I'm not excited in the way that I should be.
Yep. Yeah, it should be like the biggest thing. Everybody should be flipping their lids about it, but
the first Dune movie was insane.
I know.
And then the second one, it just kind of they lost pace. He
took so many liberties with the actual story, and it's like the story's there for a reason. The book is written.
Not a winning franchise for no reason. Follow the story.
Yep. Yeah. All you have to do, you have one of the best composers. You've got some of the hottest actors who are actually competent actors. You've got the best technology for special effects. You set up the first part expertly. And then in part 2, you just decide to randomly deviate from the story in pretty drastic measures. That was
a crazy turn because they did some race swapping, which was fine.
Yep.
In the first one. Everybody accepted it. Yep. It was cool because it made sense. Made more sense than the original story, if we're honest. And then they could have did a good thing. They could have made a ton of money on those movies.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not. They're not going to make a ton of money. I might not even see it in theater. I might watch it in at home video.
I'll wait till it comes out.
Yeah. Unless the reviews are crazy, I'm not going to theater to watch it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Avatar 3, right? We watched it at home. Sit a little closer to the TV. All it is visuals anyway.
Yeah. I won't watch it. I'm not going to see the third one. I fell asleep for an hour of the second one and woke up and I didn't miss a single thing plot-wise.
Well, good news is it's the same story again, but now it's in the air.
Yeah. The second one was the same story again, but it had whales, and then now it's in the air or something. So
this one has whales as well, but they have new baddie locals who are satanic or something.
Sure.
It's the same story. Even the same characters. They bring the other guys back again. You know?
Why not?
Why
They're
not?
so popular the first 2 or 3 times.
Those movies can't possibly make money.
I have no idea.
They can't.
People love them. They made a whole Avatar world in one of the theme parks. So people get obsessed with it, but they're way too long and it's all the same story. And
the stories make no sense.
No, well, the first one is either Pocahontas or Fern Gully or some mix of the two.
All right. And it's the same plot. And it's not wrong. Like, if humans were to go there to another planet, it would be run by the people that run our planet, not by us. and you know what they would do.
And there'd always be that one or two weird guy that wanted to become an avatar to go fuck the local natives, which actually happens.
A couple normies are going to get through, right?
Yep.
That's normie behavior. That's not psycho behavior.
Wanting to fuck the local aliens.
Well, in this case, it's a little weird, but not that weird, right? He became nativized or whatever.
I want a tail so I can have tail sex with trees and with crazy alien women.
And animals and whales and everything, apparently.
Yeah.
The oldest daughter is now Jesus, Space Jesus. So you missed that. But just like every other fucking story, nobody has a dad.
You know, if there are more father figures in these movies, they'd have a more reasonable runtime, I'm guessing.
Oh, my God. They have more father figures in these movies. I'm going to guess that they would not be made by the people who are making them.
That's fair.
My cigar went out. I have about an inch and a half left. Where are you at?
That's what I have left. Mine's still going strong.
I'm going to relight because it is good.
It's good.
So dark. It's getting so dark.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. It is spicy and dark.
I am digging it. We have a couple more Montecristos coming up relatively soon, and I'm also excited about those. The one spoof movie we didn't mention, Mike, and I feel like if we don't mention it, it will be a gross oversight on our part. And that movie is Galaxy Quest.
I didn't even think of it, but you are correct. That is an incredible movie. And it was Hollywood.
Yep. Back when they had at least some fingers on the pulse, right?
Well, they have fingers on a pulse, but I think it's of a dying baby.
Pizza.
Lots of beef jerky, shrimp, and grape soda.
Yep.
Why do you need to walk your beef jerky over for dinner? And also, why do you freeze it? Why does the color of your shrimp matter?
No reason.
Weird.
Weird indeed. Speaking about movies, Mike, this is kind of on topic, so I'm going to share it with you and our listeners. Hello, listeners. Thanks for tuning in.
Little ramble-sode here, coming off the hot weekend.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was a good weekend. Fun times had by all. We usually do 2 episodes in a recording session. We're only doing 1 this time because we were like, you know what? We saw Spaceballs recently. We're talking about Spaceballs, and if that doesn't fill the whole episode, that's okay. That's fine. I was made aware, so some of my family lives in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and I was recently made aware that there was a cult classic independent film shot in Stevens Point in 1975. And they are doing a 50th anniversary reimagined edition, which features some new scenes and modern visual effects. And I found a copy on Blu-ray of the original 1975 version of this film. And this film is called The Giant Spider Invasion. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited to watch it. And if I can find a copy of the reimagined one, which is currently in theaters, at least in Stevens Point, then I will get that as well.
That's awesome.
But again, I do have a soft spot for incredibly terrible movies, as Mike has learned over the years.
You do. I do as well. I will say here, just to fill some time, that I spent my 4th of July in the Minnesota lakes on the west side of Mille Lacs Lake. There's a ton of resorts and all sorts of stuff there. And the fireworks were intense. It was a 45-minute fireworks show, and you could hear and see the fireworks all the way across the lake and all the way around. So for those who aren't aware of where Mille Lacs Lake is situated, the Brainerd Lakes are north and west, and then you have a bunch of other lakes, Onamia and Isle, and then behind you, you have Mora and all the lake system going on there. So you're in the center of 700 lakes probably, and each one has a fireworks show, and each one has multiple people shooting off fireworks. So you're talking thousands, if not tens of thousands of people shooting off fireworks. And it was crazy. It was crazy. It was like being in a battle, for sure. It was wild.
Yep.
And when the fireworks show, the big one across the lake got done, all the smoke came in across Mille Lacs, and it just got filled with smoke, just like a cloud. And then you could still hear all the fireworks going off because there's probably 30, 40 people on Mille Lacs shooting fireworks off, plus all the bars, plus the 4, 5, 6 towns, plus all the hundreds of other lakes. Like I say, every lake has a fireworks show.
Yep.
So it was a intense experience for the 250th. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I will tell you that I was in a small town, very small town in northern central Wisconsin. And we drove from my dad's cabin, the kids and I and my dad and his wife. And we went to a parade in Cable, Wisconsin. And we're sitting there and you could sit right on the street in your lawn chairs, right? And they threw so much candy. But we were right by the start of the parade, right across from the post office. And we're sitting there and they just finished the national anthem. And we're looking down to the left at all the the fire trucks and the things that are at the start of the parade procession. And all of a sudden, this horrendous noise, real loud noise from the sky comes, and it's to the right. And here comes a fighter jet, not at full speed, but it was booking. It was hauling ass, dude. And it was loud. And I'm like, we're in some tiny fucking town in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. And it goes by. And I just looked it up now. It was an F-35A Lightning II. And it flew over so fast, and it went even fucking faster to bank out of there, and it was amazing. And I was like, how did this tiny town in Wisconsin manage this? But it looks like it's part of a 250th anniversary special flyover that the 115th Fighter Wing was doing. So
that's really cool.
That was insane because you're in a real small town. You know what small towns are like, Mike. You've got the post office and maybe a grocery store, and that's your main street. And this thing, it flew low and fast, and it was pretty exciting.
That had to have been extremely exciting.
I wish I would have known because I would have had like a camera ready or something to get a picture of it. But I don't know if anyone knew it was coming. Nobody said, hey, we're going to have a flyover soon. It was just all of a sudden it was there. And I'm like, holy crap, they got a flyover for the 250th anniversary of our country. So,
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like, everybody likes 4th of July on a big lake.
Yeah.
So get all the girls in their bikinis and each one of these towns, I think Mille Lacs has like 6 towns or something. It's a big lake.
Yeah.
Each one has a parade and they kind of all get together and the speed limits suddenly become 25 miles an hour because
yep.
It's just packed. There's just tons and tons of people. There was a big farmer's market where we were located generally and bought some cooking oil and it's just a 4th of July celebration in north central Minnesota is something to experience if you've never done it. It's always a good time. There was a 10 or 8-year-old attendant at the gas station, little boy.
Yep.
Clearly the son of one of the owners or something like that. Everybody was there. Bait shop. You got a bait shop, liquor store / gas station. It's going to be busy. And it was a good time.
Yep. Hell yeah.
I'm getting close to the end here on my cigar, Nate.
Me too, man. Me too. Real close.
This cigar was a banger. It's almost hard to describe how better it is than the stuff we've been smoking lately. It is not even in the same class.
It really isn't.
Yeah, the Platinum Series.
It is so good. Oh, boy.
I don't know how to fairly assess it. It's got to be at least a 5. I'm going to say 5 point. I'm going to say just a 5. Just a straight 5. Because at the end, it did get a little hot and
sure.
A little harsh.
I kind of want to temper myself a bit because I don't know that it's as good as some of the stuff that we smoked. I want to give it a 4.5.
You're more tempering than I am.
I mean, I guess I feel like, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I like the La Aurora y Leon Maduro Belicoso more than you did, but I don't know. I mean, we really like that New World, and we both gave the New World a 4.25. The Nest Connecticut, we gave a 4.75. So it's very tough because I want to go back and look at some of these other ones we rated pretty high.
But then we're ruining the system, We're trying to do it just what our opinion is. No, but I mean,
today, like the Rocky Patel Edge A10, we both gave a 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. The
Partagas Cifuentes Maduro, we gave a 5.25 and 5.
I lower it down to a 4.75.
This one's really good. This one's really good. We did have a little bit of lighting issues. That's the only reason, Mike. I don't want to give it a full 5 because you had a little bit of a lighting issue, which could have been user error, but then I had kind of a burn that had to be corrected, which also could have been a user error. But I mean, we're coming up on 200 cigars that we've smoked on the show. So, and the end isn't as enjoyable as I would like it to be, but it was a great cigar up until the last inch. Which is, all you can ask of a cigar, really.
I'd agree with that. The cigars that are all the way to the nub. Those are special.
They're special, and they're far and few between. Special.
Yes.
How much is this one compared to some of the other stuff we've been smoking? I mean, I'm looking back, and we the last. So this is episode 22, and going back to episode 11. So 11 episodes. There was only been one above a 2.5, and that was the Don Smith Series D, and that was a 3.5. So this is the best cigar we smoked out of the last 11 sticks.
Oh, by far and away.
Well, by far.
By far and away. Well, it looks like online, if you're going to buy a box. Well, let's just say this exact cigar, single, online is $16.39.
Sure. So it would be expected to be good.
Yeah. This is a $20 stick at a lounge all day long.
Yeah.
This should be a good cigar. A box of 15 of the Rothschilds, which is a size smaller, is $2.12 for 15. So they don't sell them in 20 boxes.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a good cigar. This is one of the higher end ones we've smoked. And I guarantee that I got it for $5.
Yeah.
I guarantee I got it for $5 or $6. And that's part of the message of the show, right? I got a $20 stick for $6 online through some sort of sale or gimmick or whatever. However I got it.
Points, some of these cigar shops give you points. You can drop the price of some things sometimes.
Right. And I knew this was going to be a good cigar. It's a Montecristo. So
yeah.
It would be shocking if it wasn't.
I don't know why we haven't really smoked them outside of, in the cigar lounges and things. They are, 15, 20 and up cigars.
They're expensive cigars, and they're beyond the price point normally of what we would smoke on the show because of that. But we get these better sticks because you can get good deals on them. You just gotta be there at the right time.
Yep. Yeah, and I guess like my thought when I'm in a cigar shop buying something for myself for personal use, it's difficult for me to say, should I drop $20 on a Montecristo because it looks good? Or should I get like 2 or 3 flathead V660s or whatever, right? That I know are good. Or the La Gloria Cabanas that I know are good. Should I get something I know is good? Or should I take a chance on something that's maybe a little more expensive? The Plasencia, the octagonal pressed one, I bought because I was recommended it by a friend that smokes cigars. So that was easier for me to do because I had a recommendation for it.
Right. When I'm in the lounge, I usually get a cigar that is within the price point that I'm willing to spend at the time, whatever that may be.
Yep.
But I want the weirdest, most unique cigar imaginable. So, if it's got weird cigar leaf wrapping or the CEO Brazil, The CEO Brazil had, instead of a standard band, it had a cigar leaf as the band. That sort of thing where it's just different. Or something that looks out of the ordinary. Something that isn't what I would typically smoke. Because I'm going to a lounge. I don't get to go to a lounge very often.
Yeah.
If I lived near a lounge, then my preferences would be different. And I don't consider... So there's a lot of liquor store, gas station type cigar places. This is why we're smoking these type of cigars for you guys, is because that's what they have. And gives you an idea what you're going to get,
Yeah.
Who knows what you're supposed to get.
And a lot of these, you can go into even a fancier lounge and still find these for less than 10. Not this Montecristo, but, the Tatianas for sure, the Don Smith, if they have that. Some of these other ones are definitely less than 10 or, $9.99 in a lounge. So you can you can go there and you can get a stick that is going to be better than some of the other sticks at the same price point.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stinkers out there, especially when you get into the lower price points.
Yep. And a lot of these are personal preference, so you have to take what Mike and I prefer into account.
Of course. And if you're a novice, relatively speaking, and you think that Prince Albert vanilla is the best, then probably flavored cigars are your thing. Well, I'm going to try to find a Prince Albert vanilla to try on the show. But
yeah, we got to get together and do a little bit of a cigar exchange, Mike, soon.
Nice. Yes. Yeah, we do. Because I have 2 boxes of cigars for you, probably. I'm going to have to actually sort them and see what the hell I have. But I got a few for you. We're going to try pretty much every Rocky Patel that has been made, at least up to the point that I bought the cigars. But yeah, I like this cigar. If you see a Montecristo Platinum and you're feeling like a smoke show, That is the one, because that is spicy and smoky.
Yep.
A little finicky maybe, but very good cigar. And make sure you have something to have as a palate cleanser. You're going to want a Coke or a coffee or a whiskey for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Did your beer actually cleanse your palate?
No, man. I was pretty much raw dogging the thing, so.
The water wasn't doing it for me. I had to get whiskey.
Yep.
It wasn't quite clearing it. I think a cup of coffee or a Coca-Cola or something like that, or maybe an energy drink.
Yeah, I should have poured a little bourbon is what I should have done, but I had no idea. I had no way to know. So
yeah, no, this was a good cigar.
I think this with some bourbon or scotch or whiskey, right? Like the stuff you just kind of, the real good stuff you just kind of sip on, and then this, that'd be where it's at.
Winning combo.
Yep. Otherwise, I think go out and watch some irreverent films. Go watch something that offends you or challenges you. Or in my case, like the stuff I know it's like offensive to modern audiences, but it just makes me laugh because it's how it was growing up.
Consume media that is countercultural in general.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
That's a better way to put
counter
it.
mainstream culture, not, you know what I mean? We're now becoming more and more aware of all these subcultures.
Yep.
And the mainstream culture is trash. It's poison, mind poison.
Yep. Yeah. Counterculture is a better way to put it. I'm not telling you to go watch the Vagina Monologues. I'm saying go watch Tropic Thunder or go watch Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein.
Go watch an independent film. Go watch a Korean or Japanese film. They're real weird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, watch the original Let the Right One In. So they made an American remake, Let Me In, which was terrible. But a lot of good stuff out there, just not being put out by mainstream studios. So
they'll die.
Yep. Hopefully so, unless they get a big bailout, which is kind of our MO. I can hear Mike getting upset about that. So I think Montecristo Platinum Series, the Toro, was really good. We're huge fans of Toros. No, we like Robustos, but the Toro was good too. So
I like both Toro and Robusto. Robusto is a better size for the show.
Yep. Yeah. But this one, it didn't feel too long. Like some of those other ones we've had recently were longer and they felt too long. This one didn't feel too long. Which was good.
This is a much higher quality cigar.
Well, yeah. So,
and the what would they be, like 10,000 percentile or something like that? It's a much better quality cigar. It's much better. So
yes. Yes. Otherwise, may the Schwartz be with you, and thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Be safe. Have fun.